Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here for a Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file design team project. I'm combining this with everyday inspiration for this month, and I'll also be using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for the month of January as well. So to kick it off, I'm going to be using the Rose Scallop Frame. This is one of the new releases, the January 15th release. And I love them. They're so pretty. So I went ahead, cut them out with some black cardstock, and then backed it with a little bit of my kit that you can see here. I'm then going to take this pattern paper that has the 3 different shades of green and blue and teal and make that work in with the rest of my layout. And I chose to use this along with the whole kit in general because of the photo for everyday inspiration. So Jenn posted 4 separate photos. She had a lovely snow day one back in December, and she shared those. So we were doing like an outside kind of theme, and I picked the one where she's actually taken the photo from inside with her scrap stuff looking outside at the snow. And I loved that, but she's got these little iris containers that I think hold her photos or something, and they kind of have these same colors to them. So I was inspired by the colors, and I just kind of went off from there. The rest of it doesn't really mix in with it. I'm not doing snow photos or anything like that, but I am using the colors, and I am documenting about my boys here for this particular layout. So as you can see, I went ahead and I cut each of the colors, the blocks of colors there, and then I just folded up the edges a little bit just to give it a little bit of dimension and texture to it. And then I'm going to use the scallops. I cut them in a 6x6 size. I'm just going to put them kind of off kilter to each other. Originally, I was actually thinking about doing like a grid layout, so these 2 would take up the first 2 6x6 areas, and then I would do something else with the other 2. But as I started to play, this is just kind of what came, and it formulated, and I really was pleased with how it turned out. I glued everything down a little bit, so I needed that little big block of white space there needed something, so I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit more pattern paper just to fill that in. It's still got white, so it's not too busy, but there's a little bit of interest there as well. And this collection, if I didn't mention, is the Pretty Little Studios Color Me Happy collection. So pretty, and it's what I'm using for my How to Kill a Kit with Style for this month, and I've been having lots of fun playing with it. And so now I'm going to go ahead and try and figure out my photos. I had a really cute photo of Nora and Barrett that I was trying to work with, but I just wasn't sure what I was going to do with that other section of the frame, just using the one photo. So instead, I'm going to use these 2 photos. It's of all 3 of my boys laughing. They were telling a joke or something happened, I don't know, but one of them was being silly and the other 2 were laughing, and they were having lots of fun. And I love these action shots that I got of them just being happy together. So that is what is going to be documented. And I'm going to put one in a frame, and then the other one I'm going to cut down quite a bit so that it'll fit in with the other frame. And I also cut out that word, my lucky stars. I loved that saying. I thought that was really cute, and I felt like it's just kind of nestled itself perfectly by the floral right there on that left-hand side. So I'm working with this. I'm going to work with the frames and all of that. And I'm liking it. I'm a little stuck now, and I don't know where to go with that because I'm using some rather bold and then large elements, and I'm trying to make it work with how I normally scrap in my aesthetic. So what I decided to do is, first of all, I'm going to flip it so that the color is down at the bottom. That helped me a ton. And then I decide to add a few little stickers. You can see I added a few stickers off camera. I'm going to just do a little bit of embellishing. There's not a ton because, again, it's very bold. So I'm just adding a few little bits from my stash. I am trying to use some of my stuff up. I've got a ton of it. So it's always nice to get a few little things used up. This was from the summer. So I pulled my little summer ephemera out, and I just pulled a few things. I was able to back to both my photos with a piece of ephemera I was never going to use for anything else. And I was able to use that weekend, which was awesome because the colors just match perfectly, and that's just going to go right on top of the other little phrase thing that I think says what a wonderful world, and it just all kind of combined perfectly. However, I'm still struggling with what to do next because there's a lot of white space up there, and I'm totally good with white space. It doesn't bother me, but this one looks very, it just doesn't look like it belongs there. It looks like something needs to go there. So in the back of my mind, I'm struggling with that. But to work through it, I first go and decide to add a little bit of extra florals and leavery in this black and white. It really helps to bring in just a little bit of a softer bit. So there's lots of really bold black, and then this brings in the nice little lighter tones of the white and black. I know that sounds weird to say with white and black, but that's kind of what it's doing, is it's playing off the different shades that you could use, because this is more white with a little bit of black versus the black frames with the bright white underneath it. So I love that. I felt like it really helped kind of just give it a little bit of something. And I put one on each frame and in the corners and stuff. So good with that. I'm happy with how all of that is looking. And now I'm like, hey, I don't know. I'm stuck here. So I actually ended up sending this photo to Christina from Redefine Creative. And I'm just like, you're a genius with bold colors. Like, this is what you do. So tell me how to fix this. And she had a couple ideas. And the one that I loved the most was to put triangles, because that's what's in the frames, at the top. And I was like, I have a triangle stencil and that is perfect. So this is what I went ahead and did. And I, of course, chose to go the stitching route versus the mixed media route, because it's much more in my comfort zone and I knew it wasn't going to mess up my layout. So I went ahead with those same colors from the color blocks that I used, and I just stitched a whole bunch of triangles that I had from the frame, so I knew they were perfectly shaped. So happy with that. And then to wrap everything up, the last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is use a few little bits of wood veneer, because I am trying to use that up as well, and it's sitting on this cute little pink thing I have right in front of my face, so I remember to look at it, and I'm trying to get something used up from it every layout I create. So I do add in a little bit of wood veneer, and that does it for this layout. So let me get everything out here. If you want to go ahead and head on over to Confessions of a Paper Addict, there is the Etsy shop, so you can get this cut file plus tons of other ones. You also want to head on over to the Facebook group, because Virginia has a free cut file every month that you only get if you're a part of that. And it's a really fun place to be, so make sure you head on over there. And then, of course, make sure you head on over and check out everyone playing along for Everyday Inspiration. So that would be Lisa and Dolly and Crystal and Jen. I don't think Daisy's participating this month. There's a look at my finished layout. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.